The queen, whose eyes had been stabbed blind by the emperor, walked step by step toward the city wall. Tonight, she would leave this ancient world and return to the modern era. Her mind was filled with memories of the happy times she'd shared with the emperor. But ever since he'd brought a concubine back from the battlefield, her life had fallen into misery. Her son no longer drew close to her, and the emperor no longer wanted to stay by her side. At that very moment, the emperor was in the concubine's chamber with their son, having long forgotten the queen he once swore to care for all his life. Then, a maid appeared, holding a letter from the queen. It wasn't until he read the queen's farewell words that the emperor panicked and realized she was truly going to leave him this time. He raced toward the city wall like a madman, desperate to stop her. But the queen's heart had already been shattered by his cruelty. 7 years ago, the woman had accidentally traveled to this ancient dynasty. She'd helped the youngest prince ascend to the throne and used modern technology to wipe out all enemies surrounding the kingdom. Afterward, she'd planned to return to her own time, but the emperor had knelt down on one knee and proposed to her. Moved by his sincerity, she decided to stay, to rule the country alongside him. A year later, she gave birth to their child. She'd thought this happy life would last forever until the concubine's arrival turned everything upside down. The concubine not only stole the emperor's love and favor but also kept sowing discord between the woman and their son. In the end, the concubine, the emperor, and the son seemed more like a real familiar sight that cut the woman to the core. So she'd made up her mind to return to the modern world in 7 days. But the concubine, who'd long wanted to kill her, had sabotaged the ritual ceremony and framed her as a monster that would harm the country's prosperity. Enraged, the emperor had decided to have her put to death. But the officials present had all begged for her life. Unbelieving, the woman had snatched the letter from the emperor's hand only to discover that the monster mentioned in the letter was actually the concubine. Yet to protect the concubine from harm, the emperor had forced the accusation onto her. Even their son had stepped forward, begging her to take her own life. This broke the woman completely. She'd cried out that she would leave in 7 days, but the ruthless emperor had still drawn his sword and struck her, blinding her.